All right, guys. So this time, this was the second interview of the night, the double feature with Malandro. This one's a little bit more straightforward. I remember as soon as we started, I just kind of had I was picking up the SLE vibes. That was mostly on instinct. And then I was kind of preparing to just see if I was confirmed. The 7-wing-8 here on the screen that she had on there kind of also gives you a really big hint, because this is a nice combination for an SE dominant individual to be. If you understand Enneagram as well, a lot of SLEs tend to be either 8s, some could be 7s, um, and so on. So it's just a nice place for a lot of SE dominant types to kind of go towards. So that's kind of also a giveaway right from the start.
Hi, everyone. So in my second interview for today, I am talking with Malandro. So Malandro, how are you today? What's up?
I'm good, thank you. It's kind of early in Japan still. It's deadline season, so I've been doing my work. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to get into this interview because I was umming and ahhing about doing it for a while. I got typed by Galenko beforehand, and I was like, I need to get typed by Jack. It just needs to happen. So I finally foiled and decided to book an interview.
Okay, again, kind of a quick pace.
You too consider me.
Responding well, nice and concise, showing a certain playfulness. This just needs to happen. I got to get typed by Jack. I've already done this with Galenko, whatever. A Brit in Japan, so.
Out. See, it sounded to me just before we went live, but there's something about your studies that takes you to Japan. So how does it connect? What are you studying, and how does that connect to Japan?
So I study international law, but I always kind of wanted to go to Japan anyway and study. I just wanted to get away from England, like plain and simple. But because I was studying international law, I had the option to choose a year abroad, and I was like, oh, finally, it's like my excuse to move away, go somewhere new. And after like reviewing my options, I was like, yeah, it's still Japan. I'm definitely gonna go to Japan. I can.
So already, two major points. She's talking about going to Japan, and she's like, "Ooh, let's go." Kind of sounding like she's up for fun and adventure. Again, very SE, very Enneagram 7, and very just SE, fun and adventure. SE can also be seen as somebody who just likes to explore, especially the physical world. Doesn't always have to be force as described in Socionics. So she's giving you that combined with what her Enneagram is, and the international law thing. Law is very rules based. It's very TI based. It's a very combination of TI to E, because you got to know what the laws are, and you got to know what the rules are and how those rules are going to be enforced, and then figure out how to work your way around those rules, argue with the rules, etc. So you start already going towards an ST individual with the TIT stuff I mentioned. So put it all together, and we're already at an SLE.
See, like Japanese law out here, which I have been doing, which is very difficult. Yeah, I'm just enjoying my university years while I've still got them, I guess.
What is it about the United Kingdom that you wanted to get away from?
All I'm gonna say is once I touched down on Japanese soil, I heard that we had yet again another new prime minister. And I was just like, I'm done with this country. Like, I'm sorry, when it comes to politics, I would just rant and rave all day about everything.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, I think the people who are running the country are so badly out of touch that they've destroyed the economy terribly. Like, my rent out here is actually £30 more expensive now than it was when I first arrived in Japan, because the exchange rate has gotten that bad since I've been out here. So every month I'm paying that much more money, because clearly the people in power don't know what they're doing. I mean, they probably do when it comes to protecting the inner circle, but it's fundamentally just broken. And at this point, I'm thinking, instead of staying in England and complaining about everything and speaking up for everything, I'm like, best course of action is just to get out. They always say, go back to your own country. It's not my own country, but I've gone to another country.
So politically oriented, able to speak her mind freely on it, or mostly freely on it. Describing things, economics, where they're going with stuff. It's very practical. It's a good understanding. It's kind of reinforcing the ST idea, and her desire to take action and do something about it in a very real kind of way, not just be upset about the politics, but to literally go to a whole nother country.
Hopefully, my quality of life will improve somewhat, and I'll still be able to do things I enjoy doing, which of course is international law, so it's on a global scale anyways.
It's
Yeah,
you know, potential beta stuff.
So
that was my main reason.
So international law, what made you want to go into that?
So I was always interested in law generally, but I saw that I had the option to study like national law, like the typical LLB degree, and then to do international law, which has additional.
Yeah, I was already
lessons,
pegging her
because I was always
SLE there
interested in
in the
public
chat at this point.
international law, things like international conflicts and things like that. I thought, well, international law,
3 minute,
as a study
almost
would
4
be
minutes
right
in.
up my alley, because then I'd learn about the UN, I'd learn about like different legal systems altogether, and yeah, I'd be able to have better knowledge of things that I'm more particularly interested in, because I like criminal law, I like dealing with crime, things like that. I love the psychology. I love understanding why people commit crimes. But when it comes to actually working in that field, it's just, oh, I have to go and advocate for somebody today because, I don't know, he was accused of burgling a house. And then I go from that guy to the next guy that mugged somebody, to the next guy that, I don't know, was accused of slapping his grandma or something. It's like, it's just boring. Like, I love the psychology of it. That's why I love it in academia, but actually practicing it, I couldn't see myself doing that. I'd just get angry. Like, I'd be underpaid, overworked, and I would see absolutely nothing change in the system that I'm dealing with. So it's just like, I am the face of the system, because essentially, like, I'm working class, I'm of color. I walk in and it's like, yeah, these are people like me who are working, and that's why they want people like me to be within criminal law. But when it comes down to it, you're doing the worst job. You're not making any impact. It's only if you feel like that personal satisfaction because you've helped.
So you feel, I'm cutting off now, but so you can see how she's very practical. She understands how the law works. She understands how all of this kind of works in reality, in society. She understands where is this like worth it for me? What am I getting out of this? Almost in a transactional kind of way. You're doing a lot of work for what amount of money, for what amount of time? What's my image? What's my prestige? I'm the face of this. They want me to be the face of this. That's why they have me here as, you know, a woman of color and, you know, just a minority doing a lot of these things. So very much aware of the social landscape, the FE kind of landscape that she's operating in, that she's kind of the face of that. And does she really want to attach herself to that? Then she's talking about, she just feels that systemically, this really isn't going to have any kind of real impact or change on anything. I would rather be a part of something that feels like I'm having more of a real effect on society. So focuses on impact, focusing on society, focusing on a lot of politics, which law is very political. So we're getting a nice strong dosage of beta stuff on top of everything else I already mentioned, and you know, speech pattern and everything else. speaking quickly, responding quickly, having good answers to things, showing some good FE usage. And later on, she's asked how she is with friends and so on, much later in the interview. And she gives a good confirmation answer, just kind of saying she's very good at making friends and socializing with people and so on. And she says she can be dropped in a bar and she'll be having a great time, friends with everybody, all that kind of stuff. But she does not maintain those relationships well. She does not maintain closeness with people. She struggles a lot with that. So, I mean, she just bang on hits good usage of FE, meeting people, having fun, all kinds of stuff. Poor FI, very poor FI. So that was pretty much the final like confirmation at that point that you're dealing likely with an SLE. In socionics, we got the high SE, we got good TI, TE usage. We've got a terrible FI and good, reasonably good FE, and all the other beta quadri stuff that we saw kind of lining up. So yeah. Also makes a nice comment at the end when it comes to like romantic what's it called, duality stuff. Can't really see yourself with the IEI. Understandable. And SLE is a type that we just tend to think about it as a male kind of type, like the archetype in our head of what an SLE is and does. We tend to think of it as a more male thing. And IEI, we tend to think of it as possibly more of a female kind of a thing. So yeah, it can be a little tricky, a little weird in a way to have a female SLE trying to get together with a male IEI. And there are other types, other combinations of types that are like that. So that's for another time. But here, again, pretty clear, pretty straightforward SLE for everything else. So again, let me know what you think. Let me know if it was straightforward for you, if it was complicated for you, if you thought there was something else. If you were watching, you know, etc. So thank you, Malandro. I hope Japan is fun. Check out Kyokushin Karate while you're there. I think you'll have fun with that. She was doing a lot of Muay Thai as well, you know, showing a lot of force, a lot of vigor. She doesn't get tired. She gets jazzed up by that kind of stuff. So yet more SE, right? So check out the karate. Good job, Jack. Good job for everybody else. Good times. Pretty much it. On to the next one.